Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Before we proceed, let's take a moment and ask for guidance, each in our own way, guidance in the decisions that we'll be making tonight on behalf of the county. Thank you. Roll call.
Ken Talbot.
Here.
Alan Easley.
Here.
Leon Griffith.
Here.
Helen Glass.
Here.
Jake Craddock.
Here.
Ronald Minner.
Here.
Carol Yeaman.
No Carol. Okay. In your packets, you have the agenda. Are there any additions, corrections to the agenda? Not to hear motion be approved.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Thank you. You also have the minutes of the meeting of September 10th, 2019. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Move that be approved as written.
Second. Second, all in favor, signify by raising your hand. Thank you. Old business?
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Microphone's on. New business.
2 cases for next month. Solar, both solar. One is Roger Wynn. It's on the Halifax County, Henry County, Pittsylvania County line.
Okay.
The other one is for Vernon Moon that y'all already approved the special use permit. They
Right.
needed to add 2 smaller parcels, so it's just an addendum to the special use.
Okay. Which of these, I read in the paper that, that Google's actually building one of these farms or contracting for it. Any idea which one, or, not that it matters, but,
Amazon is the one.
Oh,
Moon.
Amazon.
Moon. That's the one in
That's a
Gratna.
Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. Any other new business? All right, we do have, let's get it on the record, we do have the issue of the invitations to the gala at, where is it? Hope Center?
It's at Gentleman's Ridge, which is a event place in Blair's.
And based upon the discussions that we've had, I think the consensus is we just don't go. If you do choose to go, you probably ought to pay the $55. Okay?
I would like to be on record as saying that I've gotten about 20 phone calls from Fairfield, Connecticut concerning that in the last 2 weeks.
So you're still getting calls?
Still getting them. Got one yesterday, and some days I get 2 and whatever. It's the same number. I have blocked it. It still shows it that I got the call, but
Right.
when I first talked to him before I realized what was going on, very broken English from a man and a woman on 2 separate calls, and some things I could pick out of the conversation that they was having with me was Hope Center Ministries, Chatham Star Tribune, Leon Griffith's email address, and magazine. Other than that, I really couldn't piece together enough to figure out what was going on, and they wouldn't answer my questions because I guess they couldn't understand me. But
Well, I got I can't remember if it was a call or an email, but it was, your name's in the paper and they'll put it in like, put plastic on it and send it to you, you know. And it amounts to nothing really.
But I just
But I don't know
wondered
if it's the same thing.
why they keep calling.
Well, that I can't answer, but it does beg the question, is there anything positive, is there any reason to continue to have our phone numbers and email addresses on the website? Since our communications are dramatically limited by the fact that, you know, we are a quasi-judicial body and we're not allowed to communicate outside of these hearings, is there any benefit of having the email and the phone numbers? Because especially with the FOIA regulations, if you receive the communications, you're obligated to preserve it because somebody might file a FOIA request and ask for it. Anybody see any advantages?
I certainly don't.
What can we do to get rid of them?
Make a motion, pass it, and request that they be removed.
I so move.
I second.
All right, so moved and seconded that we request the county to remove the phone numbers and email addresses from the website. Any further discussion?
Can we do that? I mean, is that,
Sure.
You can remove it, you could also request an official county email address if you'd like an email address to have and use for official business. And that way that's maintained and stored on the county servers when you do get a FOIA request.
That would solve the FOIA issue.
That would be the thing to do to me. I mean, the phone number's fine, take it off, but the email should be,
You don't have to have the email address, but if you'd like to have one, the alternative is to you get a county email address.
All right, well, let's take this as two issues. First, what's out there now, we have a motion that it be removed. Any further discussion before we vote on that? All right, who would like to see, who favors that motion, that the email addresses and phone numbers be removed from the website? Signify by
I have
raising
no
your hand.
problem with
Okay, now, the public would like to communicate, and I feel bad cutting them off, because, anyway, so the issue is, do we request, either as a group or individually, a county email address?
we've already got one, don't we?
I think the only ones that do are the Board of Supervisors. The Planning Commission or the BZA has one. I think it's an extra cost, is what Scott told me.
There's no-
I guess,
But
My-
you can request it.
I
I
guess
can
my
ask.
question would be, and not to compare ourselves to Judge Moreau, but does she have an email address that,
Yes.
Well, it would probably be the court and she's got staff to read the emails and,
Right.
which we don't have.
right, and so I mean, are we gonna go to Karen's and say, all right, let me see my emails? I mean,
I guess you could pop them off at home if, or we could just refer them to the zoning administrator.
Can you forward any?
We would still forward your information to you, it just will not be on the record.
I mean, that's fine, I'm just wondering if we're,
All right, let's put it this way. Does anybody feel strongly enough that we need a county email address to make the motion? Okay?
because again, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but when I get an email from a constituent or an individual, I don't respond to it.
I don't know how to read it, but I don't
I mean,
respond.
Well,
I kinda
theoretically
thought that
though,
was our
FOIA,
rule, was we were not supposed to.
well, but FOIA would still, I mean, you read it, so you.
Oh, I keep it, I mean, I store
Yeah.
it, but I don't respond, I don't get into an email
Right.
conversation with somebody that's for or
Okay.
against a case we've got coming up.
All right, so that dies from lack of.
So take the phone numbers and the email addresses off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as you say,
And
if
do you need a
somebody-
reason, or, I mean, there wasn't a
No.
reason stated, but if they ask, you understand why.
Yes.
It's, places us in a very difficult
Yes.
position with that. Okay, any other new business? If not, we'll proceed to the public hearing. Oh, you didn't mention next month. Do we have are we meeting next month?
Yes, two special
Oh, that's
uses
right, you did. I'm
solar.
sorry.
How about
See, that's how.
No.
Okay, pursuant to Article 5, Division 7 of the Pittsylvania County zoning ordinance, we, the Board of Zoning Appeals, have been empowered to hear and decide specific applications and appeals in support of said ordinance. In accomplishing this important task, we're charged with promoting the health, safety, and general welfare of the citizens of Pittsylvania County. We must ensure that all our decisions and recommendations be directed to these goals and that each be consistent with the environment, the comprehensive plan, and in the best interests of Pittsylvania County, its citizens, and its posterity. Those wishing to speak to the board other than the applicant regarding zoning cases will be limited to 3 minutes. So the public hearing in case S-19-012 is now open. The time is 7:10. Report.
Case S-19-012, Walter Yarborough has petitioned for a special use permit on .54 of an acre located on Gap Road in the Callan-Scranton election district to allow placement of a single-wide mobile home to be used for his son's residence. The Planning Commission recommended by unanimous vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet Mr. Chairman, Gar Yarborough is here to represent the petition.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening.
What would you like to say in support of the application?
Nothing much to add. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
Now, you'll be the resident?
Yes.
Where are you living now?
At my father's residence,
Yeah.
just right up the road from where the lot is.
Well, we'll see if we can do you both a favor.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. No one signed up. Is there anyone that would like to address the board before we close the public hearing? If not, we'll close the hearing. The time is 7:11. Well, nice part of the county.
Pretty cut and dry.
Huh?
It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Are there any adverse effects that rise to the level of having to be considered? If not, then we're obligated to issue a positive motion. Oh, okay. So the pattern positive motion would read, whereas Walter Raymond Yarborough has petitioned the Board of Zoning Appeals for a special use permit for placement of a single-wide mobile home for his son's residence, and whereas we find no substantial detriment to adjacent property, that the character of the zoning district will not be changed thereby, and that such use will be in harmony with the purpose and intent of the ordinance, I move the special use permit be granted.
So moved.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. Sorry to keep you so long. Whew. Make up for last week a little bit. Do I hear a motion we adjourn?
Get home in time for supper, so moved.
Second.
All